Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Morgan, and this is Opinionated Moms.
So, we got some stuff to talk about.
Some-
I know we have our headlines first. So, what do you have for us today, Miss Morgan?
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, where is it? Oh, okay. So something that I feel like everybody is glossing over. Um,
Mhm.
the new show coming out on Bravo, Love Hotel,
Oh, yeah.
with it's gonna have Shannon from OC, Luann from New York, and Ashley and Giselle from Potomac. That comes out April 27th. And I don't really want to watch it, but I fear that I must.
I don't want to watch it. I just feel like I know these ladies aren't actually there to find love. And if anything, we're just tuning in for them to be completely nutty, cause some petty shade. But like we all know these ladies aren't walking away with any man, especially Shannon Bedore. I don't know, like
Actually, I feel like
Shannon,
Giselle is the least likely to come out with a man.
yeah, Giselle for sure too. She's too guarded. She's like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna actually display my how I feel about someone on national TV.
Yeah.
Which actually he said something about since we're talking about the show, how about did you see that clip of Ashley singing? Gosh, she was singing something live
Yeah, she
and
was yes. Yes. Yeah, she sang it
you
twice.
gotta
There's
like,
two videos. There's one from Good Morning
oh,
America.
I've only seen one clip, and I was like, who is letting you get up there and sing? Who?
She sounded really bad on Good Morning America. The other one, I think she's in like a club lounge type thing, and
Oh,
she sounded a lot better. I mean, she's definitely not Whitney Houston. I
okay, wait.
can't I can't remember what song she was singing.
I can't remember
Um,
there. She can sing. She has a good voice,
like she can carry a tune. I can
but
see
she's
how that would
no
have been her talent in her pageant days.
pageant days though.
Yeah,
She's no offense. Like Drew can hold a tune. Shamia
Drew's
can hold a
really good.
tune. Ashley, let's stick to those dreams back when we were 19. But
Okay.
anyways, okay. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
I'll watch, but I'm not like super
I'm gonna
excited.
watch.
Oh, your favorite girl, Mia. She's back in the headlines.
Ugh.
She has announced she officially moved to Atlanta. So, I mean, we're down a housewife. Might as well throw her in.
I do not think Mia needs to go to Atlanta. I think she needs a pause from Housewives. I mean, that's just my thought on that. I don't want to see her on Atlanta.
I do for drama purposes.
But the thing is, I think what, like, I just don't feel like she's honest.
Yeah,
She's
I'm not
not
expecting her to
honest.
be
So
honest. I'm expecting her to provide me with entertainment.
I feel like I am over in general. These franchises, the Housewife shows are just not the same anymore. You know what I
No.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
the light, fun shade, like when they were talking about real issues before everyone had the guard up, before social media was like super in their lives as well. I don't know. It just feels so produced, too scripted. I don't know, but
Yeah.
good for her.
I
Good for
like to
her.
I like reality shows when they act like they're not on a reality show and like we're really just watching them. Like even watching like Keeping Up with the Kardashians now, like ever since they switched to Hulu and like they talk directly to the camera or like you see the camera people, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't want you
I
to
stopped.
know that I'm watching you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like just
I stopped watching the Kardashians. Like, it's been like I don't watch them anymore. It just like
Mhm.
I already feel like they own like every part of America. So
Yeah.
I'm just like I don't want to see you on my screen, and it's all fake. It's all fake. I'm like no, but I do listen to Chloe's podcast. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't
Um,
listen to her pod and Chloe is my favorite, so I
I love
probably
Chloe.
I
Yeah,
haven't watched this season of Kardashians, but like I
yeah.
watched it before.
She does have a podcast, and she just had recently that girl, Remy, I don't know her last name. Like she was like really big, and then like she lost a lot of weight. I think she was on I don't know if she was on TikTok or Instagram first, but she basically like showcased a lot of like outfits that were like on her body when she was bigger.
Hmm.
and how they don't really fit good, and she went viral because of that. Do you know
Hmm.
who I'm talking about?
Hmm.
Oh, you don't know her?
No,
Okay,
now I
well,
gotta look it up.
anyways, she lost a lot of weight and people kept questioning, like, how'd you do it? You definitely went on Ozempic and blah, blah, blah. And she wouldn't respond, she wouldn't answer. And then she finally admitted on Chloe's podcast. It was a really good episode. I really liked it. Okay. But
That she
anyways,
was on Ozempic.
no, she didn't do, she did try Ozempic, but it didn't actually work for her. She said she was getting really sick off of it. She was throwing up. So she actually went and did a weight loss surgery, but like it's like a new surgery that no one really knows about. So yeah. But anyways, next.
Okay, so I'm gonna like low key segue us into the star of the show, of which would be Atlanta. So, there was a TikTok that went viral,
Okay.
where a girl was, and we talked about this the other day, where a girl was like breaking down what the tea is that Portia may have on Angela's man.
Mm.
And her theory is basically that Charles had a baby on her when they first got married. So there was a couple key indicators. So if you guys don't know, so for our listeners, the first
Mm.
one is that when Angela first introduces herself on this season of Housewives, she goes through all of her children and she lists their ages, but she doesn't say the age of Charlie Jr.
Mm.
Because she said, I have, and she said her daughter and her son, and
Yeah.
she said Charles has, and then she said Charlie Jr., and then she said
Mm.
we have,
Mm.
and had the last one and said all of their ages except Charlie Jr. So that was the first key indicator. The second one is that I think it was episode 2 or 3 when she showed her one of her rental properties that was being worked on, and her husband came and met her there. They were having a conversation about, things have been hard in their marriage, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, we really need to renew our vows, especially because of what happened when we lived
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
She just said something happened where they had to live apart. She didn't actually
Yep.
say what it was.
Hmm.
The third thing was that an old clip from Wendy Williams resurfaced where Wendy Williams tells this story about how she um saw Angela at a party and something happened in Wendy Williams' marriage where like there was cheating and possibly a baby, something or other. I have to go back and listen to the clip, but something was happening to Wendy Williams, and she saw Angela and she gave her a hug and she said, Angela whispered in her ear and said, you can forgive this man and you can move on. And Wendy Williams was like, what you mean? Like there's a whole kid involved. And Angela was like, well, I've done it and we got through it. We're still together. And Wendy Williams was like, what? Now, Wendy Williams says a lot of stuff, okay?
Hmm.
And not everything is true because obviously she's for the gossip, like that's what she
Hmm.
does. But Angela wasn't famous at that time. This was,
Hmm.
um, I don't remember when this was, honestly. The Wendy Williams show was still on air, so it was a long time ago. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's a random thing to make
I
up about
I
someone.
I believe it. And do you believe it?
Yeah, I believe it. Now that I went back and paid attention, because I think I told you the other day, whenever Angela's on screen, I low key tune out. She kind of bores me.
Oh my God, I absolutely love Angela. I was literally just telling my husband last night. I would be Angela in the franchises. Did you see she had a little mini fan again? That girl
Yes,
stays carrying a fan.
because it's
She
hot. I'm telling
it's
you,
but
you
I
need
love
a
it.
fan.
So I actually it's funny that I feel like the more I see her story, I'm like, okay, cool. Like she's willing to talk about it, and it's not easy stuff. I'm really interested in her. Um, I want to say I don't know if it's just for camera. Maybe Charles doesn't like being on camera and talking about their relationship. I feel he's a little dismissive towards
It's a lot
her.
dismissive because I
He's
I literally just thought to myself watching the episode from last night, I was like, he don't like her. Like
he
that's how it comes off.
It was so rude. Okay, I get his relationship with her mother and her sister is really bad, but when she was like, "You're my husband, who should I talk to?" I was like, literally, you are her person. Who should she go talk to about these things? Do you want her to go have another man? And he's acting like she's bothering him. The way he was talking to her really bothered me, and it's been multiple times.
It was
I'm
multiple
like,
times
does she
in
give you
the
the ick?
episode. Just in this one episode, it was
Hmm?
multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, okay, and then I just have to say, what did you think? when her daughter, when she's telling her what's going on with like her mom and her sister, and then the Angela's like, yeah, like let's talk about it though. Like you got married, and the daughter's like, it's no big deal. What's your problem?
Yeah, that was weird to
And I'm
me.
like,
I feel like they're not as obviously they're not as close as Angela like thinks they are. Either
oh,
she thinks they're
absolutely.
close or she portrayed that they were close. So I don't know.
I want to know more about what's going on, and like you could tell there's a lot of stuff going on in Angela's family. I'm like, give me the popcorn. Like I want to know all about it. I want to dissect it. I want to give advice.
I
I'm
feel
over
like
it.
that's why I kind of tuned out though, because like I feel like because I like really paid attention to the episode from last night, and I feel like she was saying a lot but saying nothing. Cause she like had this huge like buildup of when I thought she was gonna talk about what happened between her daughter and her mother and her sister, but she was just like, yeah, I bought this house and my mom was
You
there,
could
my
tell she
sister's
doesn't want to
there, my
say.
daughter was there, and then she moved out. And I was like, what happened? Like, are we done?
Yeah,
Like,
you could tell she's not really comfortable saying like
yeah.
it's like she's giving us a little bit, but she's not giving us the main tea. And we're kind of like, we know stuff's going down. There's a reason why Charles doesn't speak to your mother, and now your daughter doesn't even tell you she got married. Like what is happening here? There's a
Yeah.
lot. But I, I mean, I do appreciate that she's sharing like a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, that was yeah.
I need
So
more. I need
I
more.
need more too. I like Angela. I like her. She
It's not that I don't like her. It's just um I think it's her personality just kind of
she
annoys me.
bores you.
She kind okay, this might be
Yeah.
controversial. Don't come for me. But she kind of
Mm,
reminds me of Garcelle in the sense that
hmm
it's like it's not what she's saying is boring. It's just boring from the
hmm
source that it's coming from. But I like
Yeah. I
But
could
I
yeah.
like her in
I
group
like it.
settings. Like, when
Yeah.
her and Shamia got into it, I was entertained. I liked it. I like, how they came back together. Oh, side note, I love that they apologized and made up.
Oh, me
Yeah.
too. Me too. That is how we do it. This is how we do
Yes.
it. When
That
there's
that made
conflict,
me
we
that made me
always
feel
try to
great.
resolve.
I really didn't think it would be
Yeah.
Shamia to apologize first. I don't know, I don't know why I just felt like it would be Angela. But I'm glad.
I didn't think Angela would apologize first, but I'm so glad that Shamia did it first because I feel like it shows me, to me personally, because I really like Shamia. I feel like
Mhm.
she's a good person down to the core. And it's like she values friendships, she values women, she values her marriage. And I loved when she was like, Angela, I shouldn't have insulted your personal physical appearance. That was really low of me. I'm like, thank you. That's really big of you. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
these women, like they say it and they're like, I said it and like I'm not gonna apologize. You are
Right.
ugly. And it's like it's like, but yeah, I was glad that they
Bullshit.
made up. And yeah, what else happened in the episode?
Okay, so okay. Well, the next
Oh,
thing
wait, okay,
whoa.
wait. Sorry. Sorry, I just have a thought and I want to say it because before we get to the main Kenya's event, um, so when Brit has her sit down with Angela and Shamia, and she's like, I feel really bad. I would never like want to hurt another woman or like I'm not threatening people out here. My question is, you said what you said, and if you don't have any weapons, if you weren't actually going to harm this person, what did you mean by saying that?
I think she
Like,
was just trying to be cool. I think she was saying it for like cred, like trying to like be hard or whatever. But I feel like that's something you do when you're like a freshman in high school and like trying to fit in and be cool, not like as a grown person in 2025 or when was this film? 2024. Like
yeah.
what's going on in today's society. Like why would you say that?
I
And then the fact that she backtracked it so much, like, she tweeted about it when it was filming, saying that like she didn't do anything. But then you see her obviously admit, and this was what, the next day or when she
supposedly the
sat down,
next day.
right? When she sat down with Shami and Angela. So it's like, you said it, but you said online that you didn't say it. Then you apologize for saying it, and it's like, girl, make up your mind. Pick a story.
And I just feel like, I don't know about you. I don't feel like she was actually sorry that she said it. I feel like she's like, "Oh my gosh, I said something that's going to get me in trouble."
Hmm.
But that's just how I
Yeah, you
saw it.
can tell from when she sat down with Portia, because when she sat down with Portia, this is what she said. And obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but she was like, I'm so sorry that I said that, but Kenya da 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 da. But I felt da 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 da. And then even
Mhm.
Portia's like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Like even the thing from Shamia's birthday party about the wedding ring,
Mhm.
everybody who was in that circle said that like Kenya wasn't doing anything to you. No, she absolutely was. She was dismissive. She was manipulative. She was being shady. She was insulting me. Those are all things that Britt has said
Mhm.
that Kenya did. This imaginary
Mhm.
thing going on in her mind. And I'm just like, girl. But side note,
Mhm.
finding out that Angela wrote the question
I
really threw
know.
me.
I wasn't expecting it to be
I was
Angela. I thought it
not.
was Kelly.
I thought it was Kelly. But finding out that Angela wrote it, this is the second time in 5 episodes that Angela has inserted herself and like put her foot down, concrete, stuck 10 toes down for one side versus the other without really getting the full story. I'm all for supporting your friend 100%, but I do feel like you need to
Mhm.
take a step back and look at
Yeah.
the whole picture and really tell your friend if they're right or wrong. Like that's how I feel like Kelly was doing with Brit with the whole Kenya thing. I
Mhm.
feel like
Yeah.
Kelly was really like, Brit, you were wrong, da 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 da. Kenya, you were wrong, da 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 da. Like I feel like
Mhm.
she was good about that, but I feel like Angela's just like quick to take a side and stick to it.
So I don't know if you had heard before the season air started, the cast members were asked like who is like shady, but like you don't know it really. Cynthia, Shamia, and I think Portia, they all said Angela is an assassin, a silent assassin, something like that. Like I don't know the exact words, but that like she's so shady, you don't see it coming, but like she and I was like, I could see that now. I could see that
Yeah.
now, and I feel like she's starting. I feel like she's going to unravel, and we're not going to expect it. Um, but yeah, I agree with what you said about that
Yeah,
whole Brit stuff.
I didn't like that at all because that I was like, why? That was so unnecessary. Like that was just crazy. And then
Mhm.
I don't know. It was just a lot. And then Britt went on to say, she was talking. Now, Shamia and Angela did say they agreed with her that Kenya cut her off at the dinner. I went back and watched it, and I don't personally feel like Kenya interrupted her or cut her off. I feel like Britt asked the question, Kenya answered the question, and then Britt told her her answer wasn't good enough, and Kenya was just like, "Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there."
Yep.
That to me was appropriate because you asked me a
Mhm.
question and I answered it, and now you're upset because you didn't get the answer that you wanted.
Mhm.
I didn't feel like that. So unless there was some editing or something going on, I didn't
Yeah.
really see it.
No, I agree. I agree. I agree. And sometimes I just think like, are we too biased? Because you know,
I mean, I
and
tried really hard because I told you from episode 1, I was like, I don't like Brit. She just irritated me. And it had nothing to
mhm.
do with because Kenya wasn't my favorite housewife, to be
Mhm.
honest, on the Atlanta franchise.
Mhm.
So it's not like I was just like, oh, I'm so team Kenya. It was just I just really don't like Brit. Her voice
Mhm.
annoys me. Her face annoys me. Her lip hitting her chin every time she talks annoys me. Like,
I hate that. I can't stand that personally for me. Does this happen to you when like when you eat and if you have lipstick, it gets on your chin? I can't stand that. I can't stand that.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. It just
So
irks me.
and I was gonna say something as you're saying it, and the thought left. Gosh, that happens to me a lot. Yeah, okay, well, we can come back to it if I remember. I will say I felt like Kelly was I'm really liking Kelly again. Not again. I'm continuing to really like
Yeah.
her. And I like how she calls out both Kenya and Brit, and she's kind of like see both sides, and she's like, I don't think she meant it this way, or she's like, go apologize, you gotta make amends. So like I really like how she tells it like it is to their face. And did you hear that like Kelly and Brit don't talk. Like they don't like each other anymore.
No, I did not
They're not
hear
friends.
that. That
They're
is
not friends, and I can't wait to
shocking.
see why. Um, yeah, Brit and Kelly don't talk. They're
Are we
not.
gonna find, do you think we'll find out during the season,
Yeah,
or is
we
this
find
like
out
a,
they showed a preview. They showed a preview actually of what's supposed to come this season. Where like Britt and Kelly, they're like popping off on each other. It's weird. And I'm
I
like,
have
what?
to
Like,
look
what
at it.
happened? Like in this episode, Kelly's like, "You're my girl. Like, I'm like with you, ride or die." So let's get into but the main event.
Okay, we'll pause before you go there.
Okay.
Kelly said when Portia and Kelly and Kenya were at the hair spa, Kelly said that she didn't hear Britt say anything about the pistol.
Oh
I
yeah.
went back to episode 4.
Hmm.
The first time she said it, Kelly was a few feet away from her. So I was like, okay, maybe no, sorry. The first time she said it, Kelly was standing right next to her.
And did
Britt
she?
was talking to her. They were like a foot away
Oh,
from each other. It was
oh,
when they
okay.
were all in that front lobby. Nobody had walked out the front door yet. And Kelly said something like, "Oh, you have your stuff? Like, let's put it down here," something like that. And then Britt said, "Oh, I got my stuff and I got my pistol." And
Hmm.
Kelly was just like, "Oh."
So she heard it.
And then the second time, she was only like 5 feet away. It was when the husband had showed up and they were walking out together. So I was like, "Girl, you lying?" But that's her friend, so
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna give her a pass on that one. But she definitely heard it. I mean, I didn't like Kelly at first, but now I like her. I feel like she
I
came
didn't
in
like
really
her.
hot and heavy, but I like her more now.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't like her at all either in the beginning, but I was like, you know what? She is growing on me. I feel like she's showing up authentically. It seems like authentically herself, and I like how she's dishing it, but she's also taking it. I really
Mhm.
love that when like and I think I admire that because I'm not a confrontational person, but I like when someone is like super direct and then they're gonna take it, whether it's good or bad. Like I like that, you know? So the main event for Kenya, I thought number one, she looked stunning. Her hair looked gorgeous, dress was flawless, the salon looked beautiful.
It did. It looks so good.
It looks so good. And like for me, I just want to say I'm still Team Kenya. I think it's so sad because it was such a great event. And then as it's happening, when she's exposing Brit, even though all the stuff was already on the web, the internet, I just you could see I was like, why would you give Brit all this attention? You know what I mean? Like this was your big day. Like you spent so much money and you're making it about Brit. Like she doesn't
Mhm.
even deserve this attention.
And she wasn't even there to
He
see it.
wasn't even there. And I was like, Kenya, why? Like, why? And it's like, she just saw red. I feel like she was just kind of like, this newbie thinks she's gonna come in and threaten me. I'm about to show her what she
I
said
don't think it
in
was just
that.
about Brit though. I don't think it was just about Brit. I think it was also about production because I went back and watched that interview, which last week I didn't know who it was, but it was with Tamara Hall.
Mhm,
And so she I went back and watched it and she said that she spoke to production that night about what Brit said and they told her like, "Oh, we're going to take care of it. Don't worry. Like you're not going to have to film with her and we're going to launch an investigation into this and see what's really going on." And production didn't ask any of the women anything, and they didn't talk to Kenya again. She didn't see them again until the day of the event. Well, filming at the spa or whatever, but she said nobody reached out to her. Nobody said like, we're concerned about your safety. They basically like played it like you're taking it too far. I believe people. I'm gonna tell you something. I believe people when they say things to me.
mhm.
Okay. So nothing is an empty threat to me because I feel like too many things have happened in the world where people didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And I take you seriously. So like if I've been like that ever since I was in high school. Like, when kids show up to school and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna blow your head off." You might really show up with a gun tomorrow. And
Hmm.
I don't have time for this. So
Hmm.
if somebody had told me that they got pistols, I'm assuming you have them and you're going to use them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's me personally. So I think she had a reason to
No,
believe
I
because
bel yeah, I agree. I'm just so sad that it was Kenya who had to get punished when it was
because
Brit who said it. But then again, it's like I just wished Kenya wouldn't have done it.
you have to sit down, you have to play victim, and I feel like it's really hard to do that unless you're just the victim all the time. And I've been trying to teach my oldest that, like, not to play victim, but just like to let people kind of shoot themselves in the foot. She had, she's had issues at school where she's like, "Oh, well, this person did this to me first, but then I got in trouble because I did this." And I'm like, right, because they were arguing with you, but then you argued back, you got
Yeah.
loud. So
Yeah.
you caused a scene. If you had just
Hmm.
been quiet, that person would have gotten in trouble on their own. They
Yeah.
don't need your help to get in trouble. So I
Hmm.
had to explain that to her. And that's how I feel like Kenya should have acted. If she had just been quiet and just
Yep.
held it in, and it's very difficult, but that's what she should have done. Or she could have just been like other housewives and told them about the photos or like
I
texted
wish
the
she
photos, but she didn't have to put it on a poster board.
I was like, Kenya, like you're so much better than this. It's funny, not funny, but I wish she would have talked to Cynthia and been like, this is what's about to go down. And Cynthia would have been perfect because Cynthia wasn't there when it happened. So I feel like Cynthia could have been a voice of reason to Kenya. You know what I mean? Like who okayed on Kenya's team to like, someone had to have printed those pictures for her, right? Or like, did she really just go to the store, print out these pictures on her own
No, I
and
don't
put
think she did that on her own.
and like no one
Unless
on
she
her
printed them
team,
at home.
no one on her team was like, I think this might be going too far, like I don't think this is good.
I
So
don't
for
know.
our listeners who don't know what we're talking about, so this girl Brit basically on the show gets upset with a comment that Kenya makes to her. It was not bad at all. She got too heated for no reason and basically threatened Kenya out loud in front of all the girls that she had some weapons and basically it sounded pretty scary. It was a threat that was you don't really say that. You don't say that out loud. So Kenya felt threatened and Kenya is someone that if you are going to go for her, she will win. She always wins. That's just what she does. But she never starts things. She just will finish it. And what she did on her event at the hair salon of her grand opening, where she literally has just poured $400,000 into this business, she basically found some research on that girl, Brit. That girl apparently did some explicit stuff back in the days. They called her like a video hoe. And basically, Kenya got pictures, explicit pictures, of her, put them on a big poster board. And at Kenya's main event, she exposed these pictures to the entire room. And basically, production started an investigation and they suspended Kenya for the rest of the season. So it's more of like, who's at fault here? Was it Kenya? Was it Brit for starting it? Kenya for going too far? So yeah, just so
I mean, Andy Cohen did it was today.
today. Oh, he
Today.
posted
He
something?
did a podcast or some radio show. I heard a clip of it online. I have to find it. Um,
Hmm.
where he just summarized the whole thing or whatever. And the way he described it though was like Brit did like nothing. Like he was like, oh, she said something about a pistol. Like it wasn't even like a big deal. But what Kenya did, and like he went on to talk about it, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. It pissed me off because I'm not saying that what Kenya did was right, obviously, but
Hmm.
we're not just gonna act like Brit didn't do what she did. He did the same thing when Candace hit Monique with that glass. I'm still not over it. When she hit that girl with that
Yep.
glass and
Yep.
Monique beat the brakes off her, then all of a sudden it was, we're scared of Monique. Why
Yep.
are you hitting people in the face with glasses?
Yep.
Like,
Yep. I
but it's the
agree.
same thing though. If Monique had just fell on the floor, then Candace would have been the one in trouble. But
Yep.
now everybody feels bad for Candace. And I will never understand that. Like even
Me either.
going back and watching it, like I can understand in the moment, maybe they missed it and they were all very mad
Candace was provoking her on purpose. She
on
wanted to get
purpose.
a reaction from Monique. She got in her face. She was twirling like she got in her face on purpose, and she knew how to poke to get a reaction out of Monique. And I agree. I think it's the same situation there too. And that was I was oof. And
Yeah.
that reunion, I'll never forget it. That was my actually my favorite reunion when Monique comes out with her book and
With her
receipt.
binder.
And she was like, "You guys are not going to play me today." She's like, "I'm about to tell you all how it really is." And she was right. I loved Monique. I loved her so much. And I agreed with everything she said. But anyways, it's because she
I
reacted.
know.
And yeah,
It
so
sucks. But so one thing that really pissed me off though, watching the episode from last night was when she was talking to Shamia and Angela, and she said that she was triggered by Kenya interrupting her. The word trigger irks me so effing bad
I know everyone
because
uses it.
like immediately I'm full of anger because first of all, it's overused and
It
it's
is overused.
incorrectly used. Okay. That's number
Hmm.
one.
Hmm.
Number two, your triggers are your problem. Okay. Now,
Hmm.
I'm just going to use this as an example. If you're an alcoholic, you can't go to a bar and then tell everyone, excuse me, I'm triggered by you taking shots. Like, that's not how life works, bro. Like, whatever your issues are, you have to learn to still function within society,
Yeah.
and you have to learn to deal with your triggers. Okay.
Hmm.
So, Kenya interrupting you, that sounds like something you would have figured out how to work around in your 30, 40 something years of life. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
Also, big thing that I saw on TikTok,
Hmm.
another poster board that Kenya had that she didn't get to was it was a screenshot of it, and I'll insert it here, where it talks about insurance fraud that Brit was doing in her business. It's like legal documents about insurance fraud. There's another clip of Angela talking about she heard that Brit's um, insurance agency has a lot of cases of insurance fraud and she's going through a lot of legal things.
Oh.
So there's like speculation that because Kenya is now gone, they're going to edit it to where it looks like Angela brought it to the group, but it was really Kenya. So I want to know
Mm.
more about that.
Mm. So we're gonna learn more about that?
I'm hoping so. We
Oh,
need to go into that, and we need to go into whatever the tea is Portia had on Charles, because
yeah.
she's holding on to it for whatever reason. But we
I
can let
think
go of
I
Portia.
think Portia's waiting for the right moment because I think she's trying to test out Angela to see like, hey, like, like I got this in my back pocket. She's gonna say it. She's gonna use it. I think she's just waiting for the right moment, and I think she was putting Angela on notice, like, I got you. I see you. Like you're kind of lying about your whole situation.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it was just. It was a good episode, but I think it was a devastating episode for
yeah,
us. And yeah,
I'm sad, but
I'm sad. Like without Kenya, like really though, like Kenya is just such an important piece to this cast. You know what I mean? She's not the show, but she really like I've missed every time when I've missed her confessionals on camera on the show. And yeah, so we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what happens.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just it's she brings like that like extra spice. So I'm hoping that somebody steps up to fulfill that. She's gotten some celebrity support.
yeah.
Like Candace did. I don't know if I would want Candace to support me, but Candace did. She did post that she's in support of Kenya. Um, she she posted, she said, they always want to try and humble you when you're smarter than them and they're show ponies. Kenya deserves better. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't know. Candace.
I don't know. But
But
I think Kelly though is on Kenya's side, I believe.
I mean, she said she's gotten support from Kelly. And then, Cynthia had that interview not recently, a couple days ago, that went like viral, and people are saying she's being a bad friend to Kenya. I don't think she's necessarily being a bad friend by holding her accountable and saying what she did was wrong.
Yeah.
However, she also didn't say anything in support of Kenya. She was just like, what Kenya did was wrong. Here's all the reasons that it was wrong, but also good luck to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it could have been worded a little bit better so you know that she's on her side. I
Hmm.
don't know, maybe, but I got her
I've
point.
seen multiple clips of Cynthia speaking out on it, and I feel like the ones that I've seen, she's literally like, that she was disappointed in how that played out because of how hard Kenya has worked. And she has said that like she holds Kenya to higher standards. Kenya knows better, and she's a good woman. So I haven't seen anything that like isn't really supportive, but I feel like Cynthia is like, no, like you crossed the line and I'm gonna stand on how I feel, what I feel. I was surprised when Portia at the end when she's like, she's like, this is too much. She's like, get the cameras off me, like turn this
Yeah,
off.
I felt like that was a little dramatic.
I was like, Portia, 2 seconds ago you were like you were I was I don't you could tell Portia she's not the same Portia from years ago. She's going through a lot with her divorce. When Drew comes up to her, she's trying to not apologize. She's trying to squash whatever they have. And Portia's just like, like I'm not having it. Well, why don't, did you hear when she's like, go let it ring or something like
Yeah,
that?
I don't remember what did Drew say when she walked up? She was like, "I'm gonna give you a hug or something," and then Portia was like, "Today." I was like, "Oh God."
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good though. So we'll have to see how the rest of the season plays out. But that'll be it for today. Let us know your guys' thoughts. If you guys are watching Atlanta, what do you guys think? But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, save, share, like, comment down below, and thanks again.
Okay, see you guys later. Love you. Bye.
Bye.